The Emu War. The Emu War, or Great Emu War, was an incredible military operation that took place in Australia during late 1932. Its aim was to manage nuisance wildlife in the Campion district of the Wheat Belt, Western Australia. The government was concerned about emus destroying crops, so they deployed Royal Australian Artillery soldiers, armed with Lewis guns. The media coined the term Emu War to describe this incredible initiative, despite its failure to effectively reduce the emu population. Despite the significant casualties among the emus, they persisted in causing crop damage. Following World War I, many discharged veterans received land from the Australian government to farm in Western Australia, often in marginal agricultural areas. The onset of the Great Depression in 1929 prompted these farmers to increase wheat production, encouraged by promised but undelivered government subsidies. This led to plummeting wheat prices by October 1932, further straining farmers who were also dealing with an influx of around 20,000 emus migrating towards the coast. The emus found the cultivated lands, with their cleared areas and enhanced water supplies for livestock, to be the perfect habitat. They made their way into farming territories, particularly in marginal areas around Chandler and Walgoolan, where they enjoyed a diet of crops and damaged fences, creating openings for rabbits and compounding agricultural challenges. Tsunami Bomb. During World War II, the concept of a tsunami bomb emerged as a potential tectonic weapon. Inspired by small waves generated from explosions used to clear coral reefs, U.S. Navy officer E.A. Gibson initiated Project SEAL in collaboration with New Zealand's military. Named after its codename, this program explored the feasibility of creating destructive tsunamis using explosives. Despite theoretical potential, practical development of such weapons never materialized, but the idea itself was a fascinating one. In addition to this, other fascinating efforts were made during the war. One such example was the bouncing bomb, which was used to target German dams and induce flooding. This demonstrated a keen interest in unconventional warfare tactics. Tests were conducted near Auckland and New Caledonia between 1944 and 1945, with the aim of validating the tsunami bomb's capabilities. However, findings from over 3,700 small-scale explosions over 7 months indicated that there was still some way to go in terms of wave generation efficiency. In 1999, the world was thrilled to learn more about the intriguing and impractical Project SEAL. While theories about the weapon's strategic implications continue to fascinate, subsequent research has shown that natural forces rather than man-made explosions are the primary cause of significant tsunamis. Female samurai. The Ona Bugeisha, which translates literally to female martial artist, were noble women and members of the warrior class in feudal Japan. They were trained in traditional household arts and self-defense, and they fought alongside samurai men, providing crucial protection during Japan's feudal era. As samurai families sought additional security, they began training their daughters in the art of war, thus giving rise to the Ona Bugeisha, essentially female samurai. Although they did not engage in combat as frequently as their male counterparts, they were equally adept in battle. Despite their skill and bravery, they remain relatively obscure outside Japan. It is thought that they originated during the Genpei War, 1180 to 1185, a period of intense conflict between the Taira and Minamoto clans. They continued to play significant roles through subsequent periods. During the Edo period, 1603 to 1867, they played an important role in maintaining peace and security in their communities, even when their samurai counterparts were absent. In the Meiji Restoration, 1868 to 1912, a transformative era in Japan, many Ona Bugeisha actively participated in movements against the Tokugawa shogunate, marking a transition from feudal to modern Japan. Pyramids of Sudan. In the Saharan desert, impressive stone pyramids stand as enduring monuments to ancient kings. Unlike their counterparts in Egypt, these structures are located to the south in Sudan. While less well known to archaeologists and the public, these pyramids rise in clustered grandeur at sites like El Kuru, Gebel Barkal, and Meroe. Constructed over centuries by the Nubian civilization, initially under Egyptian control, they eventually asserted independence, even briefly ruling Egypt. This long relationship fostered extensive trade and cultural exchange, influencing the development of Sudanese pyramids. While they are smaller and have steeper slopes than Egypt's, these pyramids reflect Nubian construction techniques, notably using the shaduf, a counterweight crane. Unlike Egyptian pyramids, many lack traditional burial chambers, placing burials underneath instead. Unfortunately, their pragmatic design has made them vulnerable to looting and decay since antiquity, which has been further compounded by 19th century treasure hunters like Giuseppe Ferlini. Despite these challenges, efforts are being made to preserve these ancient marvels and unravel their historical significance. Pepsi had the 6th largest military. In a truly incredible turn of events, Pepsi, the renowned beverage company, once held an unexpected asset, the sixth largest military in the world. This extraordinary story dates back to 1959, when U.S. President Dwight Eisenhower dispatched cultural emissaries to the Soviet Union for a goodwill tour. Among them was Donald Kendall, then vice president of Pepsi, who had a brilliant idea to introduce capitalism's allure to the Soviets, offering free Pepsi samples. His audacious move paid off handsomely when Soviet leader Nikita Khrushchev not only enjoyed the drink, but also agreed to a photo op with Kendall, sparking a media sensation in the US. This publicity helped Kendall secure a groundbreaking deal to sell Pepsi in the USSR, despite initial hurdles such as the non-convertibility of the Soviet ruble. To overcome these hurdles, an ingenious barter emerged. Pepsi made a bold move by trading its syrup for Soviet vodka, which it exported with great success. As Pepsi's popularity soared, however, the demand for syrup outstripped the supply of vodka. In a remarkable twist in 1989, Kendall negotiated an unprecedented deal. Pepsi accepted Soviet naval vessels, armed with cannons and missiles, as payment. This bizarre but brilliant arrangement showcased Pepsi's ingenuity in navigating international trade and diplomacy during the Cold War era, the Great Toilet Paper Crisis of 1973. In 1973, a toilet paper crisis panicked Japan. The 1973 Arab-Israeli War caused oil prices to quadruple, severely impacting Japan's economy, which relied on Middle Eastern oil. On October 31st, Nakasone Yasuhiro, the Minister of International Trade and Industry, appeared on TV urging the public to use paper sparingly. The next day, a supermarket in Osaka was cleared out of toilet paper by a few hundred shoppers. News of this incident spread, causing nationwide panic. More cases of panic buying followed. On November 2nd, a government official reassured the public there was enough toilet paper, but this only worsened the situation, leading to widespread hoarding. NHK later noted that the media, by simply reporting the facts, had unintentionally fueled public fear and exacerbated the crisis.